JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, gun found in Almond tree in Surgeries. Officers assigned to the Central Police Division seized an illegal gun and 15 rounds of ammunition during an operation in Surgeries on Monday. Reports from the Surgeries police are that at about 10:30 a.m., lawmen were in the area when a business establishment was searched. One Taurus 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 15 9mm rounds of ammunition was found hidden in the trunk of an almond tree in the business's parking lot. One man has been taken into custody in relation to the seizure. His identity has been withheld pending further investigation. M16 Rifle seized in Central Village. The police in St. Catherine are reporting the seizure of an M16 rifle and several rounds of ammunition in Central Village. No arrest was made in connection with the find. The police said the recovery was made on Monday afternoon as cops sought to apprehend gunmen who shot and killed a man in the community on Sunday. While escaping, the gunmen were confronted by a police team and a firefight ensued. One of the men was shot and killed while the others fled. The police report the seizure of an M16 rifle following the shooting. Speaking following Monday's gun seizure, Senior Superintendent of Police Christopher Phillips, head of the St. Catherine South Police Division, said this incident is the second time in weeks that cops have intercepted criminal syndicates and said his team will not relent in its efforts to apprehend them. If you challenge the police, we will not back down and will not stop until all gunmen and those involved in criminality are taken into custody. The assault on communities, families and the livelihood of Jamaicans will not continue. Persons with information that can assist the police are encouraged to contact the Portmore Police at 876-949-8422, Crime Stopper 311, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Elderly man shot dead at home in Westmoreland. An elderly man was shot dead at his home at Shaolin, Darling Street in Westmoreland, on Monday morning. The deceased man has been identified as 66-year-old Dudley Levy. Reports from the police saw that residents heard loud explosions shortly after 1 a.m. and summoned the lawmen. Levy's body was found at 6:30 a.m. with multiple gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Westmoreland police are investigating. Man murdered on beach in St. Thomas. The police in St. Thomas have launched a probe into the murder of a man on Bob Marley Beach on Monday. He is 46-year-old Ija Thomas, otherwise called Eister. It's reported that residents heard explosions about 4:30 in the afternoon. Two men were seen running from a stall operated by Thomas. The police were called and Thomas was found suffering from bullet wounds to the head. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. This brings to 33 the number of murders committed in St. Thomas since the start of the year. 3 surgeries down, burn victim steals herself for more. Teenager Adriana Lang, who sustained severe burn wounds in a Westmoreland house fire that killed her 3 brothers last week, has undergone a series of life-saving operations at a hospital in Atlanta, Georgia. Stephen Josephs, the project manager of San Myrna Foundation, which has played a major role in getting help for Adriana, said that she has so far undergone 3 operations, the latest occurring on Saturday. The procedure lasted 5.5 hours. Joseph said that while she's resting comfortably, Adrian is slated to have more operations in the coming days. She's a fighter and has been fighting through this ordeal, Joseph said. Joseph said that reggae music is being played in her hospital room to lift her spirits. Also playing at her bedside are voice notes sent by school colleagues and other well-wishers. The 13-year-old is being cared for by lead Dr. Zahid Hassan at the Joseph M. Stillburn Center in Atlanta. Adrian was flown to the United States for treatment on Thursday after the diaspora, companies in Jamaica, the government, and others rallied to secure the $40,000 in airlift funding. Joseph has thanked all those who have rallied to provide assistance. Jamaica's Consul General in Miami, Oliver Mayer, under whose jurisdiction Georgia falls, has also been monitoring our progress and has been providing updates to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Mayer said that he is in daily contact with both Josephs and the hospital. Jamaican drug dealer sent to prison in England. 65-year-old Jamaican drug dealer who hid crack cocaine and heroin in a body cavity has been jailed for 9.5 years in Brighton, England. Lois Crown Court heard that Henry McFarlane tried to hide his stash of narcotics on 2 occasions. During the hearing last week, it was disclosed that the police raided McFarlane's flat on December 18, 2020 and found crack cocaine, heroin, and paraphernalia used in drug dealing. While in custody, the Jamaican reportedly excreted packages containing crack cocaine and heroin. He pleaded guilty to 7 counts of having Class A drugs with intent to supply and 1 charge of having criminal property. The court was told that he had several previous convictions and had been jailed at least 3 times for having hard drugs with intent to supply. The judge ordered the forfeiture and destruction of the drugs and paraphernalia and the seizure of the cash. The judge ordered the forfeiture and destruction of the drugs and paraphernalia and the seizure of the cash. Accused scammer to be extradited. A St. James businessman alleged to be the mastermind behind a local lottery scamming group is to be extradited to the United States after he opted not to challenge the request. Anthony Stewart, 38, of Bogue Village, waived his right to an extradition hearing on Monday when he appeared in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court with his lawyer, Richard Lynch. Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague signed his warrant of committal for his extradition and notified Stewart that he would remain in custody until arrangements are made for him to be taken to the U.S. Stewart is wanted in North Carolina on mail and wire fraud charges. He was first arrested in August 2013 with his spouse, Felicia Lindo, by members of the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Task Force in relation to lottery scamming. Police had reportedly seized papers containing overseas contact information and $1,040 and 10,000 Jamaican dollars during a search of the premises, but both were freed of the charges. Lindo, who is both Jamaican and American, was, however, arrested again in September 2016 in the U.S. She pleaded guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud in the Western District of North Carolina. The dual citizen, who had admitted to being part of a Jamaican lottery fraud conspiracy that targeted victims in the U.S. from 2011 to 2012, was in February 2017 sentenced to 24 months in prison and 3 years supervised release. She was also ordered to pay $292,900 in restitution. Lindo, as part of her guilty plea, had confessed to collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars from victims before forwarding portions of the amount to Jamaica. She had further acknowledged that the victims of this scheme were called and informed that they had won money in a sweepstake or lottery and were instructed to send money for fees or other expenses in order to release their purported lottery winnings. Rat attacks St. James policeman. St. James, which is reeling from a perennial rodent infestation problem, primarily as a result of improper waste disposal, was a source of much humor at last Thursday's sitting of the St. James Municipal Corporation, where one councillor described a recent attack on a policeman. During the presentation of the National Solid Waste Management Authority's monthly report on garbage collection in St. James, Councillor Michael Troop of the Granville Division colourfully related the story of the rat attack. "Mr. Mayor, I don't know if you heard the story about the rat that licked down the policeman in Montego Bay," Troop said to Montego Bay Mayor Leroy Williams, prompting much giggling. According to the report, the officer in question accidentally stumbled on the rat while uncovering a fruit cart, at which point the rodent jumped at the officer before fleeing. "No, I have not," said Williams, seemingly quite amused by Troop's colourful description of the alleged incident. "It is true, it was right here in town," insisted Troop. "Was he charged for assault?" asked Councillor Charles Sinclair for the Montego Bay North East Division, as the corporation's chamber erupted in much laughter. "What was the name of the rat?" However, Mark McGann, councillor for the Somerton Division, was in no laughing mood, arguing that garbage pileups across the parish, which has historically been linked to the rodent infestation, needs to be properly addressed by the NSWMA. With all the jostling going on, the issue we're having is that we have been having these challenges for quite some time now, and we're not getting any real answers as to when it's going to be fixed or the things that we can do to alleviate it, said McGann. On any single day, we get 2, 3 or 4 phone calls about garbage collection. The public health services seen some of these challenges that we're having, and they're putting drums in areas where there are already garbage skips. So what you have is a big skip that is being expanded. It is a problem, and we need a solution, something to tell citizens. We're working on it. Here's what we're going to be doing in the interim, McGann added. In responding to the councillor's concerns, Julian Robinson, the senior public cleansing inspector at the NSWMA's Western Parks and Markets Waste Management Limited, said the agency takes its role of garbage collection and maintenance seriously, with some of its inspectors even working after hours to alleviate the current backlog of uncollected waste. We are hoping that we'll have 3 of the units that are in the garage to be out by this weekend, so this should allow us to do additional cleaning, said Robinson. It's not that we come here and report and take it as lightly as that. Even last night, the operations manager along with an inspector on the road doing collection, and other inspectors are out at night because we see the task we do as very important. 65 new COVID-19 cases, 2 deaths reported. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported that a suspected COVID-19 related death is currently under investigation, while 65 new COVID-19 cases were reported on Monday, September 12. The ministry reported 2 fatalities, which pushed the nation's total number of deaths to 3,286 and the total number of positive cases to 150,909. Of the newly reported cases, there were 35 females and 30 males, with ages ranging from 10 months to 88 years. The cases were recorded in Westmoreland 15, Kingston and St. Andrew 13, St. James 11, St. Anne 9, St. Catherine 6, Clarendon 4, Manchester 3, Hanover 1, St. Elizabeth 1, St. Mary 1, and Trelawney 1. There were 83 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 97,681. Currently, 119 people are hospitalized, 35 of whom are moderately ill, 7 severely ill, and 3 in critical condition, the ministry said. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 17.5%. In sports news, Reggae Boys captain omitted from squad to face Argentina. The Jamaica Football Federation, JFF, is intensifying its preparation for the senior men's team's international football match against Argentina with the naming of a 23-man squad and a new permanent head coach later this week. The Reggae Boys are scheduled to face Argentina, one of the favorites of the FIFA World Cup later this year, in a game in Harrison, New Jersey on September 27. However, captain and goalkeeper Andre Blake is notably absent. Blake is, however, not injured, having played all 90 minutes in the Philadelphia Union's 5-1 win over Orlando City in Major League Soccer on Saturday. I don't know why I wasn't selected to be involved in the squad, Blake said on Monday. I am for sure not injured though. Maybe this is a better question to ask Rudolph Speed and the rest of the selectors. When contacted, the JFF said Blake was not selected because he was not involved in any recent practice matches. However, Shamar Nicholson was not being named in the national squad since the CONCACAF Nations League in June, where Blake also featured, is in line to face Argentina. It is also understood that the JFF will announce its new head coach in a press conference on Friday. A well-placed source at the JFF says that the new coach will be a European, which rules out Paul Hall, making the interim head coach role permanent, although whether he'll return in another capacity is not yet known. Rossies beat Merlin Otti 7-love in the Costa Cup. Former champions Rossies High School made a winning start to the East of the Costa Cup football competition on Monday with a 7-love drubbing of Merlin Otti High in a Zone B game played at the Colin Miller Sports Complex in Lucy. Shamar Brown scored a first of entry for the Russians, who had to wait 4 games last season to get their first win. Rossies failed to get past the first round last season after they were knocked out in the second round the previous 2 seasons. Also on Monday, Green Island edged Opal High 1-love in another Zone B game played at Orchard, while Manchester High beat Mount St. Joseph Catholic High 4-love in Zone F. In Lucy, Brown made a strong start to the season with 3 early goals to calm the jitters for his team, but put Merlin Otti under pressure, as with the addition of an own goal, Rossies led 4-love at half-time. At Orchard Playfield in Hopewell, Orlando Smith came off the substitute bench to score in the second half to give Green Island all 3 points. Over in the Manning Cup, Waterford High marked their return after a win when they defeated Meadowbrook 3-love on Monday. Raneel Stevenson made his mark with goals in the 10th and 19th minutes, with Jesse Jackson sealing the win in the 58th. Meanwhile, Charlie Smith and Alice Selassie played out 2-0 draw. In the day's other games, Bridgeport edged Edith Dalton James 3-2 and Tivoli Gardens East Pass Vauxhall 4-love. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.